In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Say hi to Joe. Say hi to Joe in that camera. Joe is our editor that's not here with us. He's dying of cancer. Well, he's dying of cancer.
Oh, like the king.
Yep.
King of England.
Yeah, he is kind of like the King of England, except without the wealth or the notoriety.
What do the King of England and that guy Joe have in common? Give up? They're both dying of cancer.
We'll be right back after these words from Luzanda, the new medication for cancer. Are you dying of cancer? We've got medicine that'll give you more cancer. Luzanda. David?
Oh, I thought it was Luzanda.
Luzanda.
Okay.
Yeah, just to Mark
Now,
Luzon
I don't understand.
and
Why
Alan
is
Luzanda.
why would the medication give you more cancer? It seems
I know. Well, because we're developing another medicine to take care of that.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, we just want to kind of layer medicines as long as we can to try to fix one thing and make another problem.
Is it fair to call the first one medicine?
Yeah, it fixes something.
What does it fix?
A
Your bank account?
Woo! Yeah, we're going to be billionaires once Luzanda really takes off. And you can be in on it if you'd like. This is actually an investment meeting.
No.
That's my financial advisor.
Sorry, that sounds very unethical, and I try to not do unethical
Okay,
things.
when the cameras are off, we'll talk again.
Well, if you're saying when the cameras are off in air quotes, that means cameras wouldn't be off.
That's right.
So
Our
talk
newest
about it
sponsor,
now?
David Cross, is here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again today. It's David Cross.
There you go.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you being on the show. I love you from afar. You don't know me. I don't know you well. I know.
Have we met or no?
I think we met one time through Judith Apatow.
Okay.
Judd's other.
His mistress.
His mistress. Yeah, we shouldn't talk about that. I think, one time and one time only at.
It was billed as that. It was
Yeah,
a
it was.
one-time
One time and one time only. Yeah.
Event.
At Largo. Was I think the only time. Outside of that, no, never.
Okay.
Just two planes flying along in the comedy sky.
And then our paths happened to cross.
Well, yeah, you know that when you're on a plane and you see another plane go below you,
Mm-hmm.
and you think, I wonder what they say to each other when they.
The pilots.
Yeah, what do they say?
Look out below, and then they empty the bathroom thing.
You know, there was a comic that had that joke. I don't remember who it was that said, maybe it was Bargatze. It was like, I'm up until 40, I really did think the noise, the violent noise of like, was because it was just like emptying it over wherever the fuck we were going. And there's a piece of you that always goes, I kind of thought that for a long time. I had no idea.
I would want them to do that.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Why are we carrying all
That's
this
why they
waste?
call it flyover states.
That's right, because we're flying right over and it's all...
And dumping our shit and piss.
Well, you think about it, most of it's farmland, and it's all... shit and piss does help stuff grow.
I think the shit does. I'm not sure about the piss part.
Now, I've been pissing on my lawn for like a year and a half.
And?
It's all dead, but they do say it cycles.
Oh, okay. Well,
So-
now with the rains, that should help.
We'll see, man.
Yeah.
But yellow is a good color. I don't know why everybody's lawn needs to be green.
It doesn't. I think you're on something.
Thank you.
That's the old patriarchy, you know.
That's an old white guy thing.
Yeah, an old white guy thing.
Get your
Gotta-
green lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta mow it.
That's funny because my dog loves to piss in like the exact same spot, of course, every day, or like a 2 square foot area.
That's what dogs do.
And the grass is all dead, and it's the guy that was coming to like do the lawn was like, "Do you want us to fix it?" I'm like, "What's
No.
why?
Well, yeah.
What would be the point?"
Just-
He was like, "Well, we could make grass not there and just put like pebble." I was like, "No, just let her keep killing it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
What's the point?"
I'm with you.
Yeah, you don't need any of that. Are you a dog guy? Do you have animals?
Yeah. Well, I had a dog for 15, a little over 15 years. Had to put her down.
I'm sorry,
But I got a good 10-minute bit out of it.
That's good.
And yep. And then just a week and 2 days ago, got a puppy. That for my daughter was an early birthday present, and I'm a dog guy, and I've wanted to get a dog again. My wife is she's not anti-dog, but she's more cat. She's more cat person, and but she's also allergic to dogs, as we found out, and so, or certain dogs and dander and stuff, and so we had to get a hypoallergenic dog. Am I saying that right? Hypoallergenic.
It doesn't. Yeah.
And so we had to go, and I was, we had no choice basically, but I was very much like, we got to figure this out because I don't want to get a breed, a dog that's been bred, and I want to go rescue a dog. It's the greatest. I did that with my last dog, Ollie. I rescued her, and they were going to kill her, and she was a puppy, and you just have a bond that I don't think the dog senses, but you sense it, and it allows you kind of to be petulant when they're not doing something. You can be like, "I fucking saved your fucking life," and so we got a Bernedoodle, which is supposedly the best of a hypoallergenic breed, and it's definitely more Bernese Mountain Dog than Poodle.
So it's big.
Well, it's a puppy right now. We got it when it was 7 weeks old.
But I mean, it's going to be a big dog.
It's going to be big.
Because poodles are fucking huge.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of
Right, unless it's a mini or a toy, but the OG poodle is a big dog.
We don't know. I mean, you don't really know, but it's anywhere from it's going to be anywhere from on the low end 45 pounds, and I think it's going to be bigger than that, to 85.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to get closer to 65, just judging, and the huge paws.
Yeah, the big paws thing is my favorite.
And
when they're stumbly over them.
She's fucking awesome. No, that's the wrong word. Not awesome. She's cute.
Yeah.
And she, I do not remember, and I was trying everything. How did I train Ollie? That was my first dog. How did I train? I can't remember, because this dog shit and pisses everywhere, that has no interest in the pee pads, isn't getting it. Slowly it's getting it, but also we got it from a rural farm, and just 3 feet of snow, and upstate, about an hour outside of Buffalo. So when we got it and came to the city, it had never seen concrete, cars,
the noise
sirens,
alone has got to be crazy.
The smells, everything, other different people, dogs, So it's first weekend was a nightmare. It was really, she was just terrified and freaked out. Now, slowly but surely, and my daughter is fucking in love with it.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
That first chunk of time with the dog, when it is the hardest, is also the most fun. We got our little mutt slut from a friend of a friend who was getting furniture made in downtown LA, and this guy was like, this dog came in and had puppies and then took off.
Oh, wow.
Which we researched, it says usually they know they're going to die if they leave the puppies that early, because they were only 3 or 4 weeks old when the mom left.
Uh-huh.
And
oh, boy.
he was like, this guy was like, I'm not keeping all these fucking dogs, so I'm either going to turn them into the city or something,
right.
or so our friend was like, oh, I'll take as many as I can, because she has a house filled with animals, and we saw our dog, and then I was like, when the dog comes over, let's talk about it, you know what I mean, and
they'll tug at your heartstrings
within 5 seconds. You're like, we're keeping the dog, and she shit all over the house. And the first week we had her, she kept shitting, and then behind the television, we have a little TV stand, and it was a long, it looked like 2 feet. And I was like, holy fuck, dude, this dog, it was incredible. And then I saw it.
Wait, you mean a compilation of all the shits, or
No, it
long
looked like
shit?
one long shit. It was
What kind of
unbelievable.
dog?
It was unbelievable. But she's tiny. She's just a little, she's like a Maltese Cocker Spaniel,
that is a
Poodle,
small
Terrier.
dog.
She's 50 things. And I saw, that's my dog. Yeah, that's her right there. That's Cubs.
Oh, gosh. How old?
She's 5.
In that photo?
Yeah, she's 5 there.
But
yeah.
when you got her, how old was she?
We got her 4 to 6 weeks. They're not really 100% sure. It was way too young.
So
But
young.
when she shit behind the TV, we saw a wire, and then my heart stopped, thinking, in my old office, my computer wires are fucking all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, dude, she chewed through a wire. That's not good. We got to take her to the vet. So I grab all this shit up, and as I'm grabbing it, the wire is not the consistency of a wire. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And of course I call the vet, and they're like, oh dude, that's worms. Your dog has worms. That's not a computer wire. That's why she had all this shit built up in her and had
Right.
shit all. So she had worms when we first got her, and then it
Oh,
was
man.
like within the first month was like 10 trips to the vet to figure out. But now she's fully functional.
You did a good thing, and I
Yeah.
mean, you got to know that your family
Oh
knows
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like,
it's gonna happen. You don't-
but you know, like, oh, we did a good thing.
yeah,
We
yeah, it was rad.
Saved this dog.
I know we want another one, but also I'm in that mindset of like, how do we do the puppy thing again? Should we just get like a 5-6 year
I
old?
honestly do not fucking remember. I
Yeah.
was trying, and I got to call my ex-girlfriend, who we got the dog together. I'm like, do you remember what we did for that first month? Because I don't.
We had one trick. I remember we got like sleigh bells.
I put them on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
and
can
did the
knock 'em.
treat and hit it with the nose to go outside.
Yep.
That was I think that was like the quickest learning curve where I was like, look at this.
Yeah.
No more piss and shit in the house.
Once they get it, it's the best thing, and you look back. For the rest of the time, you look back on. Remember when we first got her and she was shitting all over the place? And,
Yeah. Especially if you're working a lot. It's funny to be like busy. And you're like, oh, I'll get to that shit as soon as I clean up all this other bullshit. It's like sectioned off pieces of shit.
We have a little backyard area of a brownstone in Brooklyn, and so extremely lucky, which I didn't have with the other dog, where I don't have to get up and put on a full outfit at 4:30 in the morning when she has to go out. I just scoop her up and head down the stairs, open the door, plop her down.
Oh, that's good.
And then wait 10 minutes and go back to bed. So I'm very lucky that way. But yeah.
But is it what is I'm curious to know, moving away from it, because otherwise I'll spend an hour talking about dogs. Part of the reason that when the PR team reached out about you putting out a new special and talking about it on the show,
PR stands for public relations.
is that seriously what it is?
Yeah. You thought it was Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it was like, David Cross want to come on the show to promote. And I was like, okay.
Oh, so it was like an old West Side Story audition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
But a part of me was like, I'm
Can
curious
you hear
to
your
know.
Puerto Rican accent?
Yeah,
again?
Puerto Rican, yeah. David gonna come on the show, baby puppy. Is that pretty good?
That's more Dominican, but okay.
Oh, come on, dude. You're splitting dark, thick, coarse hairs here.
That's racist.
That is. But when I heard that you were putting it on,
I have to remember that reaction for
Yeah.
next time.
yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, very much so.
You're pleased with yourself.
Did you decide to put out? This is like a take no offense. Did you decide to put it out on 800-pound gorilla, your new special, and like all your other ones? Do you want to move everything to one platform? Is that like the goal?
I
From
mean,
a stand-up
I just realized
perspective, I'm
still wearing
curious.
This hat.
Ooh, please put it back if you don't mind.
Is it too shiny?
Yeah,
Is it burning,
yeah.
burning your
Yeah.
retinas?
Can we adjust the lights? Coming from me.
I eventually, yes, I would, as I would think anybody would want all their stuff accessible in one
Yeah.
easy to access place, and I've had shit all over the place. Like my Netflix special is, I've talked to other comics about this. Do you have something on Netflix?
Yeah, I have one on Netflix, just one.
So did you find like you are a slave to the algorithm? Like people, yeah, and I even like bigger actor guys who've had projects on there, like if you kind of bitch about it, like, but it's a real thing. If there are people who have no idea that I have a special on Netflix, because unless you're searching for this certain kind of comic, I guess it just doesn't come up on the feed of the stuff you happen to like, and that kind of sucks. I wish I had more control over going like, hey, I had something on Epics, I had something on Comedy Dynamics. I had one, the one before this one. I put it on my site. It's just
And now
on,
this one, the one that was before this one, is on 800-pound again, right?
I think I might have just given it to him.
To throw it
why
up there.
not?
Yeah, I
And
thought so.
They, that one I just did myself. Paid for it. Did it in New York, and because I had to cancel the tour because of COVID.
Yeah.
I would have gone out, but this, and I think 800-pound gorilla. I'm fairly new to working with them, but every aspect of working with them has been great. They're really.
They did my last one too. They were rad.
Yeah, they're really good
Yeah.
people. They're smart. Their production company's good. They're not gouging you.
They want to make a good product at a fair deal, which I think is the biggest beef that most comics have when we're like, especially when you're earlier on, like I signed that death contract with Comedy Central, that was like, you get $30.
Yeah.
And if somebody buys it, you get another $3. And you're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
And they strung us along when I was 28. And so I just didn't know any better. And
Well, that's what they do. They take advantage of people who are seriously who
Yeah,
want,
they
and
did.
not just them, but everybody.
Yeah.
And who want their stuff out there, and they, it's like you're saying, okay, I won't take as much money, but I can get eyeballs on it, and then that'll pay off in the future. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah.
my only job is to try to make comedic things, whether TV, television, sketch, podcast. My job is to try to like formulate that. So then to also
and to push Manscaped products.
God bless.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's like that's my gig is to know that world. I don't know. I think the hard thing is even if I did have the foresight to know what those contracts were saying, I wouldn't know what to ask for anyway.
Yeah.
Even if I was like, this seems weird, I'd be like, well, what the fuck do I know that I'm not as valuable as someone else? The best part about those companies and their relationship with comedians is most of us are so insecure or so self-doubting that if they're like, well, you think you're going to sell as good as that guy? And you're like, probably not. So they like
You
put
convinced me in 5 seconds.
Put in the contract that they're like, there's no way you're going to do that good. You're like, you're right. Yeah, I'll probably shit the bed. That's the problem. So
Well, this is all to say 800-pound Gorilla has been great.
They're fucking awesome.
To work with ethical, and their team is good. They're all in-house. So I when I shot it, I was like, chances are I'm going to have to go to Nashville for a couple days where they're based out of and, sit with the editor and never an issue. Like he was way ahead of anticipating what I'd want and really good. And it was a treat. They were great.
Matt Schuler, did you work with Matt?
I did.
Yeah.
It's great.
The reason not to stay so deep in it, but the reason I got so into those guys was because I went to New York to watch Ari shoot Jew, his special. And I mean, it's out, which is great, but I remember watching it live and being like, the candle, like just the stage setup was so beautiful and cool. And I was like, whose idea with it? And he was like, it really was mine. And they were like, yeah, we'll do it. And he immediately thought they were going to be like, no, I'm not going to light 700 fucking candles for your stupid, but we're doing 2 shows. But he's like, they were so cool about wanting to make it my way within reason. And I was like, that doesn't exist. Because, so many companies that I first had gone to were like, listen, man, just do a fucking curtain.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it too for cost. I understand like you have to sacrifice one thing for another, but anyway, it's nice to know that there are newer companies that are just like, what do you want? How do you want to fucking do this whole thing? And we'll just do it the way you want.
They're also comedy fans,
Yeah, they are.
which helps.
Yeah, that's the big thing we should have focused on in the first place.
They're not like money fans.
Right.
I got into this business for money. I'm a big fan of money, and
comedy money.
yeah,
Big comedy money guy.
Right.
Outside of touring and special, are you working on a show of your own?
No.
Will you please for me?
Well, Bob and I wrote, developed, and pitched a show, a really cool, fun idea that a limited series, 8 episodes, and pitched it around and had like a little bidding for it from 4 different companies, and then we went with Paramount Plus, and we wrote up the first 4 episodes, and then the kind of a really specific, extensive Bible for the last 4, all of which we had pitched. Like, here's the story, here are the characters,
right.
and here's how it'll work, and then just actually wrote it. And then they said no, which was weird because it was what we pitched. There was nothing.
I love when they say yes and no.
Well, so a ugly reminder that the real power isn't, because I'll tell you what they said. Look, we could go back and forth and we give you notes, but we don't think this is the amount of notes we are could give you would even get it to the point. I'm paraphrasing. Get it to the point because, and then this is a quote: marketing and analytics. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it was about the marketing and analytics department not getting it, not wanting it, and that made them say no thanks. Like, what?
If our marketing team isn't interested, we're not interested.
Dude, they have all the fucking power. I learned that early on when we were doing Run, Ronnie, Run. It was crazy. It was quite a bit of a shock that if the marketing department doesn't have the imagination to take a pre-existing idea and figure out how to make that idea, when it's reached its fruition, how to sell it, then they can say no.
They need to hire these guys, like these internet guys. What's that guy's name? Grant. These new guys like Grant Cardone or something. He does like.
Dude, I don't know anything about this world.
It's one of these. It's been. Sorry about that. That's my dad. He'll just run the hose once in a while. It's one of these internet guys that's like telling you, this guy. He's like,
who is it? Wait, go back.
Look at a photo of this fucking guy. He's one of these guys that's like, if you don't know how to sell, you know what I mean? Like he's like a sales it's like, why don't they just hire these lunatics?
Right.
Because these motherfuckers, they can sell anything. They're the kind of guys
he's selling you on the fact that he wants to sell himself.
Yes. He's selling you on the fact that you should learn how to sell you. He's like, if you have $1,000 in your pocket, you should know how to make 10,000 out of it.
Right, one of these guys.
Yeah, dude. It's like the confidence in these motherfuckers. Like, put them in a marketing department for a TV network. Then I'd love just let this guy do it.
That's a legit good idea.
Yeah, because these guys are so fucking overtly confident that you're like, really throw him there. Yeah. Why wouldn't let this lunatic do it?
But make it a part of your contract that's like hidden in there, so that when you go into the marketing
Grant Cardone
meeting,
must sell our show. Because they're so confident in the fact that it's like, if you're making there was one clip that was on there, I don't know if you'll be able to find it, but he goes, if you're making less than $1 million a year, how are you providing for your family?
Yeah, that is tough. Yeah, less than $1 million.
And he's like legitimately, and the person he's talking to is like, I don't know how they.
I don't know. I make $902,000, and it's all I can do to get government milk on the. Oh yeah, powdered milk.
In here, we pour whiskey.
This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Rabbit Hole Distillery and their one-of-a-kind Kentucky bourbon and rye whiskeys. Behind Rabbit Hole, this great sauce, their award-winning spirits, is a story of their founder, Kaveh Zamanian. You hear that? Baby, the South. 20-plus year successful career this guy had, and he left it to go craft the world's finest spirits. He jumped down the rabbit hole, and boy, did he ever. He was the fastest to ever get inducted into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Shout out to you. Congrats to you, my friend. If you're looking for something truly original and unique, I got to tell you, great sauce for a great price point. A lot of bourbon out there that's, overpriced. A lot of stuff is kind of touted, and it's not really worth it, so to speak. This stuff is very, very good. They have 4 distinct expressions. I've been sip-sapping on Cave Hill. That's their 4-grain triple malt bourbon. This is the OG sauce. It's the original. It's really good. Very good. Little honey, malted barley. Comes together with malted wheat and, of course, that mash bill, including a bit of corn in there, my friends. They do it good down there in Louisville, Kentucky. They also got the high rye double malt bourbon, the high gold. They got Boxer Grill, the rye, the sour mash rye, and, of course, that Derringer that finished in Pedro Jimenez sherry casks. A lot of people like that sherry cask finished bourbon. It's very, very good. These are always toasted and charred barrels, and they do 15 barrels at a time. That's quality in every drop. That's small batch, baby. They got 4 distinct expressions. I've been sip-sapping on Cave Hill. Find yours. Go to rabbitholedistillery.com/buy now. Use promo code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. rabbitholedistillery.com/buy now. Promo code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. Please drink responsibly. Hey, do you know how many subscriptions that you have? Are you subscribed to a lot of stuff? You don't even know it? You are, and you don't even know it. I had so many subscriptions, I had no clue what I was signing up for. That's why Rocket Money is great. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills. How much easier do you want life to be? You can see all your subscriptions in one place. It's awesome. If you don't want it, you click with a cancel. Cancel with a click and click with a cancel, my friends. One little tap. You never have to get on the phone with customer service. Thank God. You don't want to catch someone on their bad day. What do you want? Well, I just want to cancel, Carol. I just want to cancel, please. They're even going to try to get you a refund for the last couple of months of wasted money and negotiate to lower your bills by up to 20%. It's pretty good. You got to take a picture of your bill. Rocket Money will take care of the rest. Rocket Money's great. I'm sure you've heard of them by now. They have over 5 million users, and they've helped save their members an average of $720 a year with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. That's impressive. Save me a good chunk of money thanks to them. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/whiskey. Rocketmoney.com/whiskey. You heard it. Rocketmoney.com/whiskey.
Ginger. I like gingers.
It's just wild to think that that's the new standard of the internet push of marketing has become. You have to be selling every inch of every second of your life, otherwise you're worthless. And obviously, not everyone.
You're leaving money on the
biting.
table, dude.
Yeah, you're leaving so much money on the table.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I asked that about the show is only because McCone and I were talking before the show about Mr. Show and
McConan O'Brien?
McCone O'Brien right there. Yeah, he wishes.
McConan O'Brien?
Yeah. His last name is Corkery, this guy. And his brothers are...
What's McCohen?
So McCone is my grandma's maiden name, so it's traditionally a last name, but it's my first.
McCone Corkery.
I like it.
And it's Finnegan, Flanagan and Seamus are his brothers. And his dad's name is Mark. No, I'm going to put... What's your dad's name again? Kean, yeah.
Are you psyched about Sinn Féin taking over?
You're asking an informed question. He's not...
Is that an Irish person?
Oh, my God.
Dude, this guy said to me the other day, he literally...
Is that an Irish person?
Yes. This is what I'm dealing with. 24. He said to me the other day, he watched me put a hash brown...
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt. Please Google Sinn Féin when we're out of here. No,
do it now. No, do it now so we can learn something. By the way, in the meantime, I put a hash brown inside of an Egg McMuffin yesterday at the airport when we were flying back from Reno, and he goes, whoa, but like a legitimate whoa. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking, shut the fuck up. Yeah. And he goes, I never seen that or even thought about that.
Dude, life hack 109.
I consider myself more of a Minnesotan than like an Irish person.
Sure.
Okay, there are two. You can be Irish.
Yeah,
and
you're allowed to
from
be
Minnesota.
both.
Yeah, you're allowed to be both. No.
Yeah, honestly, this is what I deal with every day of my life. You have no idea.
Wow.
And I'm in love with him. He's my son. I love him to death, but it's really hard. I've adopted him.
Is Sinn Féin an Irish person?
Is that an Irish person?
And then Google the Troubles. Please Google the Troubles after that. Once you've studied up on Sinn Féin.
Yeah,
in a cursory way.
McCone almost joined the IRA, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Wait, but inadvertently. Had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. Wait, so put this through the slot in the pub and then run like hell? All right.
It's really hot. How long do I hold on to this for? You can do some research. You can do some deep diving research and start to read. He hasn't read and...
Is Sinn Féin an Irish person?
Is he an Irish person?
I don't know what the pronouns are, but
no. The reason I asked to go back is because I've been a fan from afar for a long time, and I think I just would love to see you do more of what you do best, and so it'd be. I don't know. That's why I was interested to know if you guys were making another show. I know that's tough because the way that the fucking machine is now.
Yeah, it's totally different as we learned recently. But I would love to do like another kind of Todd Margaret, but the idea hasn't come to me. But Bob and I, this is not a sure thing, but I think it's pretty likely. We're going to climb Machu Picchu and shoot it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
When did you settle on this? Was this kind of like in the middle of writing something else? You're like, we should fucking...
No, to be honest, I was in the middle of the ocean and last summer, and I was just sort of like content and enjoying everything. And it occurred to me, like, I always, I want to do more things that I like this that bring me pleasure, and a part of it is like getting a sense of my mortality in a way that I hadn't before, and my body is kind of breaking down in little bits and pieces, and it's like I've been saying I'm going to climb Machu Picchu for 20 plus years, and it was right there. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it this year. I don't care. I'm going to do it. And then I thought, well, I should do it. This is all like took 3 seconds in my head. I should do it with somebody, like a friend who likes to hike. Who wants to go hiking? Oh, Mark Rivers likes to go hike. Oh, Bob. Bob's a big hiker. He loves hiking. And then immediately thought, oh, I guess we should film it. And then so I called Bob, I got home back to New York and told him about it. And he's like, yeah, that's a great idea. And
That's incredible.
And yeah, it happened very quickly. And then we, his wife is his manager and producer. And we were like, let's figure this out. And we went to a couple different companies and picked one. And now we're getting it together.
Are you guys going to document like the pre-journey and all that stuff, or is it only?
Yeah, I think what it'll end up being, and of course this is subject to change, especially based on whoever buys it, if they do buy it. It'll probably be 3 eps. The first third of the first one is probably getting our individual families, Bob in LA, me in New York, and packing and doing a little training and saying goodbye to the wife and the kids and going to the airport and flying and then meeting up in Lima and then going to, I can't remember the name of the town you go to. It's like 3 hours away. And then, probably start the actual hike at the beginning of the end of the first step.
How long does it take, by the way?
I think it's 27 miles. There's a big one of the days. It's a 3 or 4 days. You have to acclimate for 2 to 3 days, at least, and then it's broken up into 3 days. The second one is the second one's like this. The incline is insane when you look at it.
Does this scare you at all?
No.
Not at all.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Although I will, it has just in the last week or so occurred to me, I'm looking at this like I'm a 40-year-old in great shape, and I understand that. It's starting to dawn on me. Like I always take the stairs, and I've just been recently trying to be conscious of what my body's doing. I was walking up Maltman, which is a pretty steep thing, and 3 blocks in, I'm like, oh, hi, and I'm like, oh, well, let's multiply this by 7,000 of these, and I really gotta get in shape, and I'm probably in the worst shape I've ever been in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
This is pretty good for bad.
You
don't look heavy or anything at all.
No, I'm definitely like 8 pounds overweight.
But the inside's a little tough. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, my spirit is dead. But I've also got I had to go get orthotics because I have 2 I had broken bones I never took care of, so that was fused, and then you get arthritis, and I just had elbow surgery.
What was that for?
I had.
Good God!
Look at that motherfucker. That was for golfer's elbow. I can't remember the official.
Like tennis elbow or whatever.
It's the inside. Tennis elbow is on the outside. Same.
Is for golfers.
Yeah,
That's funny. I have it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Did you tear your tendon?
No, but it just hurts a lot.
Oh, you got. Is it a burning sensation?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take care of that, man.
Really?
Oh, dude. Yes.
Did you get it from golfing?
No, I don't golf. I've never golfed.
Yeah. So how did you get it?
Jerking off to golf.
Right.
I jerk off to golf.
Right. When the tour is on,
it's called a joff. When you joff.
When you joff, you jerk off
to golf.
Golfer's elbow caused by overuse.
Medial epicondylitis.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Medial epicondylitis.
Or pitcher's elbow.
That's what it is. You've been throwing a lot again.
Yeah. Well, I do. You've seen the home run derby,
haven't I?
Yeah. Well, that's me.
Every time.
Every time, lobbing the thing. I'll put a different makeup on. Hair and makeup comes in.
Hair and makeup,
does
flies in.
Prosthetics, yeah. And
my body's broken too. I feel your pain.
But I ripped the tendon because I had it, and I know what it's from. It's from. We were in Toronto during COVID, so we were podding. You were allowed to pod with one family, and we and my wife was there working on a show, and there were 4 kids, my daughter and then 3 other kids, and I would play with the kids, and I did rough housing and stuff, and I would my daughter who's a little slighter than everybody, would throw her up, and I toss them on the bed and all that stuff. And then 2 of the kids are stout, thick kids, and they would be like, me, do me. I'm like, okay, and I did. I didn't want to be, a jerk. Just my daughter.
Yeah,
that's all I can afford, and so I'd play with them and I'd throw them up and doing all that stuff, and I know that's where I damaged it, and then I went to get a cortisone shot. Have you had to do that?
Not yet, no.
Dude. This is why I'm saying take care of it, because that is one of the most painful things I've ever gone through.
Yeah, I've
it's
heard
a
that.
long, so they have to, it's like a 30-second thing. And I was like crying. I was like tearing up, and the guy held my hand like this way, like linked up.
Yeah.
And which is like common. Like he knew to do that. He just took my hand. He goes, okay. And he put some freezer burn stuff on there with the
They numbed it.
They numbed it, with the freezer burn. That's,
Right. Yeah.
I still have a burn mark from it because it was like, this is not working. And they take this long needle. Oh, don't show me
Don't
this.
show it.
God
We don't want to
damn.
relive
This
it.
is insane. Why
Macone's
are you
just
doing
playing
this?
it on video. You fucking lunatic.
So they take this long needle because it's filled with the cortisone, right? And it's like a steroid, and he have to put it in, but it doesn't go in one place. He's moving it around. It's like a 30-second process, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, that's painful.
Because you can feel everything
You feel
he touches.
everything.
Yeah.
And then it felt much better, and then it like worked. I was like, great, okay. Because he took X-rays. He's like, all right, you didn't tear it or anything. And then, because I'm stupid this way, I really am dumb. We were upstate. I have a house upstate along the Delaware River, and me and a whole bunch of friends with kids went tubing, right? So we had this big raft, and they're those like big rubber dinghy type things.
Mm-hmm.
And we go over to this little section where I know the undercurrent isn't so bad, rip current, whatever. And so the kids are out playing, and then it comes time, and I put the kids back in. I'm in the water with them, and everybody else is on the thing, drinking. And I lift the kids up there, no problem. And then I go to hoist myself up. And you know how that, especially when you're wet, you don't move with it. Like your skin moves with your whole body. And I went to hoist myself up with my forearms and just ripped it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got worse and worse and worse and worse.
And now finally you're fixed.
Finally I'm fixed, yeah.
For now. Until Machu Picchu.
Until Machu Picchu.
And then,
yeah.
God knows.
I'm just worried about my feet. But these orthotic things are like instantly, that pain went away.
Because
Both
of
feet.
the fusion that you had in your foot?
Yeah, that's where the joint pain came in. But these things, and it's the simplest thing. You go step on a little foam thing, and they make some measurements.
And they're like, you're good to go. We'll ship
And
it
then,
to you.
well, they send away for it. Then, I don't know, 10 days later, you get these things, you put them in your shoe, you're like, holy shit, this is all I had to do?
I know. It's funny because
Wow.
I used to run a ton, and that was like, I always just bought shoes off the rack and ran in them. I never thought about. And then one time at a running store, the guy was like, have you ever been molded and had your own inserts? And I was like, nah, I don't fucking need them. And he's like, okay, let's just, do you want to see? Okay, sure, whatever. I did, I put my feet on it. They measure, and they put you on the treadmill, and then they put you back on there, and then they show like the graph of them. And he's like, well, this is, it's really bad. Like this arch is so much worse than this arch. He's like, you should just try these inserts. And I was like, okay. And I tried them, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, huge difference.
I've ruined my whole body for for the 15 years I ran.
Yeah. And you don't realize you're overcompensating. You don't really feel it.
How would you know? And also,
you keep fucking up the other foot.
You're too dumb to know it. Like this morning, I was at the doctor because of this hip thing. This is this is an old man podcast now. I was at a hip impingement, and and he
what
was
does that
like,
mean, impingement?
Hitting
the nerve?
Yeah, well, the bone kind of grows out. It creates a growth. Typically happens when you're young.
We don't need what. Stop it.
Yeah.
Just put on.
Stop it.
Put on. Go back and read about.
You know what? So
Sinn Féin.
he's interested in it and all this. That's why he doesn't know much.
Okay.
And so we're trying to get him.
Every
No.
day
But
you learn
but
more and
learn
more.
on your own time. Okay. No, it's from being physically active, which is funny. The doctor was like, couch potatoes don't get this.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the irony of you're active when you're young. The bone kind of can create some overgrowth on the outside. So instead of being concave, it really protrudes. And it's just now I have fucking what do you call it? Hip arthritis.
Yeah.
Arthritic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get older. It's getting worse and worse.
How
I'm
do you
40.
feel right now?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
You're 40 and this shit is happening?
Yeah,
Yikes.
I know. Thanks, dude.
Oh, dude, wait till you're 60.
How old are you?
Well, I'm not 60.
Yeah.
but
So what are you talking about? You don't know. Wait till you're 60.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I can't
Just
wait.
waiting till it happens. I can't wait. I can't wait till the pain. Yeah, I think that's why I asked about the fear of the Machu Picchu thing, because I climbed the Grand Canyon. I did that thing, and
Well, that seems as extensive as, I mean, maybe it's got to be close. I guess you're not as far above sea level, though.
Actually
below
when
sea
you go down, yeah, you have to stop. They ask you to stop.
Mm-hmm.
They recommend you stop because they're like, let your body acclimate. Because we had a few people, but I remember I was probably 20 years old, and I was
Right,
thinking,
is it
dude, I
different?
could fucking backflip down this
Yeah.
thing. I don't give a shit. And people were like, do you mind stopping so the rest of the group can? I was like,
Right.
"Pfft, okay. Like it was so wild to me,
Yeah.
and now I think if I tried it today, I'd be fucked.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I'm my cavalier attitude and confidence is based on
Past
you know,
life.
20 years ago, and I was in really good, exceptional shape. I was always running and jumping and climbing.
I've seen the
things.
photos,
Yeah,
and you don't post anymore. No more shirtless photos on your Instagram.
Yeah, because fucking Playgirl,
Oh, what?
rescinded all the rights.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you had a long contract with them.
yeah. It was my entire life. Yeah, and it was weird, and then they got in trouble because it started when I was 6, and that was a little unseemly, I guess.
But those pictures sold the best for some reason.
Yeah, no, they loved them.
You think it was just because you had hair when you were younger?
I think it's like they're like looking at it, going, "This could be a bear."
Right.
It's an investment in the future, and
We got to let it grow.
Didn't work out.
Yeah, it did.
I had a Jufro though, so maybe that was part of it.
Yeah. Well, that sells a totally different market.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's an interest. That's interested in
care.
another market. No, they don't.
care.
No, they don't.
money is money.
Money is money. Have you seen? I hate to say this, but have you seen? This makes me think. Have you seen the video of people climbing Everest and the bodies that they see on the way? Up?
No,
That always gets that.
Oh,
fucks
is
me
that
up.
because of is that the one where the global warming has revealed all these bodies?
Yeah, they're like everywhere now. Like it used to be
my
like you'd see like 2 on the way up. Now there's like 30 that they see. And now this is the most fucked up thing. Now that there's melting going on, bodies are sliding down the mountain.
Jesus Christ.
Some of them were also like landmarkers, like the people would know where.
Right, green boots. You've heard the green boots story? Show him green boots from Everest. You can't see the man, but there's these famous iconic man with these like bright green boots, right? And he's been there for quite a long time, but he was like a point of marking. But now his full body is almost revealed now because the snow has melted.
Yeah, I recently read about the because the snow is melting, like people are passing by just multiple.
So many. It used to be like I think they would see like a few, and now it's like
what a bummer.
every 5 feet. It's like a whole thing. So a part of I guess the training. A friend was telling me a part of it of when you do climb, they do a big tutorial on be prepared for the mental aspect of seeing a body.
Yeah.
Because you will. And it's like you have to get over this mental hump of what the elevation change does to you, what kind of, some of the depravity of oxygen will do to the way you think and the way you see and blah, blah. And then that's a whole nother section they have to like brew into it. It's like, by the way, you're going to see a whole fuckload of dead people.
Well, this is not, thankfully. I mean, I'm
Machu
not
Picchu
even
will not
close.
have this. No. I know.
It's not even remotely that. But there's the second day of hiking. You climb up to 19,000 feet.
Yeah, that's very high.
I mean, is there even oxygen there?
No.
What do you do?
No, I think the tree line, the oxygen line probably, I think you run out at 15,000 or something like that. Because when we go, my wife's uncle had a house for a long time in Breckenridge, and you would sleep at around 11,000 feet. And I would have crazy dreams like the first night or two. And then even when you started to go up or hike or anything like that, you start to get like even then, and you're going to ski.
Yeah.
What does that say? 19,000. Yeah, that's it.
Contains only half the amount of oxygen. Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. But I do love I love the physical feeling of your body kind of adjusting. It's weird. Like every time I go to Denver or go in the mountains, I like to physically feel myself working harder to adjust because at sea level and we don't feel anything. Like I can't tell the difference.
I'm looking forward to, spending a lot less, like 2/3 less on alcohol,
Yeah.
which is the nice thing about the first couple days before you get acclimated, like, 3 drinks and you're like, yeah, guys. and I've saved a lot of money.
Yeah. Are you doing anything specific to prepare for it that's like changing anything rapidly in your life or no? Diet-wise or any of that shit?
They say what?
Diet-wise or anything like that?
Just more pork rinds. I'm trying to.
Yeah, you got it. You have to, right?
Pork rinds, chicharrones.
That's what we call them here. It's actually chicharrones.
Chicharrones.
No, rones.
Rones.
Ron, up here. Ron. Chicharrones.
Chrezen.
And is that racist?
I don't think so.
And neither do I.
You're saying it's the correct pronunciation.
I'm not Mexican, though.
Yeah, but you, if you either know or you don't. I mean, I know the correct pronunciation of avec moi, but I'm not French.
What is that? What's avec moi?
Take the
the trash out.
It's like trash isn't the exact
rubbish. Maybe
take the rubbish. Yeah,
take the
which
rubbish,
can be when Americans say trash, you're thinking like, oh, the refuse and the my old banana peel and some papers. But when a Frenchman says refuse, that could be your attitude.
Ah,
take your attitude out back, dump it in the bin.
Dump it in the bin.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you living in France? You lived in France for?
It was a connecting flight. So I want to say it was 3 hours ish.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Took in a lot. I'm very observant.
You really are.
Yeah, so I can tell you all about airport bars and things at De Gaulle Airport, International Airport. So I saw a lot of fancies.
A lot of fancies.
Yeah.
You're a fancy boy.
I really am.
That's what the internet says.
Yeah.
I want to
super fancy.
I want to tell you I was lucky to do one tiny role on Arrested, but I did the newest season.
Oof.
No, maybe the second. I don't know which one it was. Second newest?
The second time was not good.
You hated them both.
I didn't hate them both. No,
The first time back was okay.
First time back was okay. Yeah. The I'm not going to go into it, but the second time was just full of really bad, dumb, avoidable problems, and it was not good for anybody.
Yeah, and that we could just boil that down to Jason Bateman. Really, is what that is. He's a piece of
diva.
shit. He's a piece of shit. I know Jason really well, and every time I speak to him about you, because I talk to him about talented people around him and how that's really kind of made him shine.
Sure.
Because of his shit, because of his lack of ability and skill.
No, Jason Bateman is a prince.
Yeah, well,
The Prince of Tides.
I have a totally different perspective on him, but yeah. No,
what did you do?
I did, my scene was with Jason. I was...
so sorry.
Yeah, trust me. I begged for you. I actually asked very specifically. Mine was...
That's how it works.
We're going to give you a car with some stairs. I was the guy selling him the...
with some stairs.
Some stairs, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I sell him the Google car is what it was called.
Yes.
And it was honestly, he remembers it more than I actually remember, but it was fucking... For me, I dreamed about the original season. I loved it so much. Obviously, it was cool enough to be even remotely part of it again, but I was such a big fan. So even being a part of anything, I was like, wow.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was great. I mean, it was, inarguably great. And, but the fourth season, which I watched, I'm a little disappointed they recut it so that it is linear because I didn't kind of get it at first, but around the Tobias episodes, which are like a little under halfway through, it finally clicked, and I was like, "Oh, I see how to watch this now." And it was really fun. Mm-hmm. Once I kind of figured it out, like this is cool and this is unique. Right. I haven't seen this before, and it's a fun exercise, and it ensures that I'm going to go back and watch it again, because again, the first like 6 eps, I was like, what's going on? But then once I figured it out, it was a really enjoyable thing to participate in. And
it was
and season 5 was I've never watched it. I don't think I ever will. It was
it's
not
funny. I've
good.
never seen it either. I don't know.
It's not good, man.
No.
No.
And just because it was such a departure from what the guts of the show really was.
I
know you don't have to get into it.
I don't think. I mean, it was just. I mean, it just there were a lot of issues as we were going into it.
Yeah.
And it's not about people per se. It's not like this person was like this. That's not really what I'm talking about. It was just the whole production was a shit show.
Yeah. I mean, this happens because the things get lost in this whole, like, look, I just did these couple of seasons of the show Dave on FX, and that kind of...
That's supposed to be really good. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it's come to an end now,
Yeah.
which...
people like it.
People did like it. I think it was a little bit of a relief because it got so... I think what America doesn't really know is it gets so far away from... what originally was kind of making something good sometimes, and there's so many cooks, and then you're like,
Well, that's kind of the issue with a lot of
Because they remixed
found
the
it.
season, it's so hard to find but I remember I downloaded it once before.
There's me talking to Jason. Yeah, and it was a small little role, and he was really difficult to work with. It was 2 seconds, and I'm used to getting
I'm surprised
some stairs.
they didn't cut that out.
They should have, yeah. They actually should have, because a lot of it was on Jason.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of it. I'm more shocked than you are that they didn't cut it out.
It's interesting. The angle is clearly the camera's below.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's about.
That was a request. I had a request for that.
That's in your writer.
Yeah, I said, can you make sure that my tits are showing
like
a little
towering over.
Little J. I'm also sitting on an Apple box.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, that's in my writer. I request. I'm sitting on one right now.
I don't.
Yeah, you're not.
Doesn't seem.
From your angle, you wouldn't be able to see it.
From this angle, which angle would I be able to see it?
If you're me looking down, I'm the only one.
That's it.
I can see it. Yeah.
All right, let's give it a shot.
What can you tell me?
Legally?
Yeah. What can you tell me?
I mean, I have clearance for some things, but there are
Go ahead
some
and tell me
things-
some of the. Then tell me some of the stuff, because
Okay.
people want to know. A lot of the fans ask
But
when
Area
David.
51?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm
Well, they
sorry,
say
I interrupted.
they say when David comes on, can you ask him about his knowledge or lack thereof in what's going on in Area 51?
Well, I can't say too much, but I can say certain things, and maybe you can fill in the dots.
Sure.
The land rights have been leased to the M&M company for
To Mars.
Mars Candies.
Yeah.
The makers of M&Ms, amongst other things. Three Musketeers, Snickers,
Say that as a one word next time.
Milky Ways,
Is Almond Joy in there?
Almond Joy, Mounds. Not whatchamacallits.
No chance.
Not
what's-
Skittles.
No.
Not Twix. Not Kit Kat. Not Cadbury eggs, because Cadbury is its own thing.
And that's a whole nother issue, unfortunately.
The British. Yeah.
Well, Cadbury's used to be made
In England.
in England, and now because of Harry and Meghan, they've moved it.
Was that big? Oh, I thought.
When they left the royal family, they took Cadbury with them.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
part of their
it was a
exit
big.
deal.
I was living in London at the time, and it was a big to do. People were not happy.
They were mad at them, huh?
They were mad. I don't even recall their anger being taken out on Harry and Meghan, although now it is, of course.
Yeah.
Man, that is. I don't know shit about any of that stuff, but you can't help but see. It is like a cottage industry for people to be mad at Harry and Meghan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are making money
A fuckload of money.
off
Yeah.
of hating those guys.
Yeah. It's almost, well, I mean, the internet is, that's what it does with our business. It's the same thing. It's like people can profit from the amount of controversy that can be created.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
extremely profitable.
Yeah.
And also when you make a statement that you're gonna maybe separate from this thing that people hold such a true identity to. It's like
Yeah.
a sports fan when they're like, the guy's leaving your team and he's like, we should fucking kill him.
When I lived in Boston for 9 years, and when Clemens went to the Yankees,
Yeah.
that was like
Blasphemy.
you watched sane, rational adults just losing their shit. Like you know, he's first of all he's a redneck from Texas. He
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit about Boston.
No.
And it's called free market capitalism, the thing you love so much.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how dare he? He's betraying us.
It is weird to own a person.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah.
The representation of owning of someone that plays for a thing. But it happens even as like a comic when someone's identity, they're like, nah, he was a New York guy or he's a Boston guy. It's
Yeah.
almost like when Burr moved here,
Mhm.
you know, like he still is an East Coast guy or whatever you want to say. But like he's been in LA for fucking ever. It's like he's just as much of an LA comedian as he is an East Coast comedian because his rise, I say, is out here.
I disagree because I think you know, especially with Boston, maybe perhaps the most, your region and where you're brought up can really inform your style, who you are,
Sure.
your personality, and that you carry that over. And I think Bill's an example of that. You know,
He is still Boston, but he has kind of been one of the pillars of LA comedy in terms of like he's one of our guys. I mean, in terms of we don't have a ton of big names that live here anymore that are still doing the clubs. He's
Ali Wong.
yeah, Allie less so will come to the club because she's so busy. Like Bill, I feel like I do still see work out a little bit more because she's so busy. I mean,
She did beef.
She did beef. I did beef. I
How
did.
was it?
I didn't get an Emmy. I asked. I
Yeah.
said, I did 4 episodes. Could I please have an Emmy?
Was the show good?
Yeah, it was very good.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm very much not in it. I'm only in 4 episodes, but I will say that's me. I'm the non-Asian guy.
I got it. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, I'm the second one in. But it's funny because it was such, you know, I don't know how many times you've experienced this, but when you read something and you're like, I wish I was a bigger part of this thing, or I wish, because it was fucking rad. I'm reading
Yeah.
it and I was like, oh, this is fucking rad. And I'm lucky to be in a couple of them, but that is, yeah, that's one of those things when I hate to say but sometimes you go, I don't know, I think this is going to be fucking amazing. It'd be hard.
Well, sometimes you know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's
What was the thing you knew when you read it and you knew?
Arrested.
Like, didn't even...
Well, I would say, as far as just reading something, I saw the potential. But when I was shooting the pilot, you know, I wasn't. I didn't want to read for it. I had just moved to New York like a year prior, maybe less, and had no interest in going back to LA at all. And then, you know, this script comes and I was like, I'm not interested. And they're like, just read it. It's really funny. And Bob's wife, Naomi, and my manager both separately, like, I think it's pretty good. And they wanted me to look at 2 different parts. And then I read the Tobias thing. I was like, oh, I know who that is. I got this. And then I was like, it's supposed to be a reoccurring character. That's great. I shoot 6 episodes and go home most of for back and forth. That's great. And then when I was shooting the pilot, and I think we all felt this, you're just in the casting is so fucking perfect in that show, and you're playing around with these, most of whom I'd never heard of before, and then you're like, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny. This is good. It's the tone. I like the tone. The Russo brothers are great. They directed the pilot in the first season, and I'm like, this is just a fucking treat. And they're letting me improvise, and this is awesome. It's a fun role. So I remember calling my girlfriend, going, "Hey, so good news, bad news. I think I got to do the show. I think I got to be regular, and I think I got to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And so that one I knew when we were shooting the pilot. I was like, this is really good.
Special.
I think when I read Station 11, which I'd never read the book, I was like, holy shit, this is, and it turned out to be, that was one of my favorite shows of that year. That was fucking great.
Did you read the book after the fact?
I didn't.
Good.
I should.
Fuck books.
I think that should be an imprint.
Yeah,
a publishing
fuck
imprint.
books.
Fuck books.
start
Although
a
that would have a different connotation, I guess, for some people.
Well, we have two divisions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what
fuck
are they?
comma books and fuck books.
Ah,
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
You want to appease everybody in this day and age.
How much longer do we have to do this?
2 seconds.
Okay.
This is it.
Okay, is it?
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, we're at 59 minutes.
Yeah.
You what? We have 9 minutes left?
No.
Oh, we're at 59.
We're in that one.
How about that for kind of... That's a pro. who's
You
like,
are
it's
you are a
just-
pro
It's just in the brain going,
It's
I
ingrained
think we're at an hour.
in the in the rhythm of doing an hour and warming up for your special.
Unlike when you do a set, like a 12-minute set at like, you drop into a club and you're like, how was that? Was that, how much time did I do? You did 20 minutes, asshole.
You're
Oh,
like,
shit, I'm sorry.
Was I supposed to do 6? You guys said 6.5. I remember Norman told me that Seinfeld had said to him when he first opened for him at the Beacon, I think it was, that Jerry was like, "You'll do 12 or whatever the number was," and he was like, "Oh, what if I'm a little over or under?" And Jerry's like, "What do you mean?"
Right.
And he's like, "Well, I did. What if what if it's?" And he's like, "What do you mean? It's you do 12, and
do
that's
12 minutes.
That's the number."
Yeah.
And he was like, and he said he was so panicked about it.
Yeah.
But like that is kind of that was such a standard. I don't know if it's a generational thing as well, but
Oh, I have but I mean, Seinfeld is jokes. He doesn't change a word. Right?
it's to the beat. It's down to like the
science.
It is. It's scientific. That, and I told him, I said that would make I would bail. It would make me so fucking
Oh
nervous.
God, I have
don't
no
know how to
idea
do
what
that.
12 minutes.
I have no fucking clue.
At 12 minutes, I'd be like, and that's why I was. Okay, I got to go. Bye.
For people at home, first of all I want to thank you for coming on the show. For people at home, please go watch. The special is out on 800 Pound Gorillas YouTube.
Yeah.
It's available right now. When this is out, it'll be out.
Yeah.
And your other
It's coming
specials
out
on there.
pretty soon. Yeah. It's the worst daddy in the world.
The worst daddy in the world, which is not true.
I don't think it's true. My daughter might
daughter
have
does.
an argument with you.
And
about
she
that.
directed it and EP'd it, your daughter.
Mm-hmm. She co-created it. Yeah.
Right. You got to give her some credit for
Yeah.
that, too.
She did some writing on it.
Does she get paid for this or no?
I mean, I get up in the morning and make her fucking breakfast and walk her to school every morning. So, yeah.
We'll see.
Payment in full.
Watch Worst Daddy in the World right now on YouTube on 800 Pound. We'll put the link in the description below. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. You look in that camera right there. We end the show the same way. You say one word or one phrase to end the episode whenever you're ready. One word or one phrase.
Now, that's what I call a pancake.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like that,